clustered in one hotel. Each team is assigned one floor, one ballroom. It's going to be very different this year, but the one thing that remains the same, Big 12 basketball, we are in store for one of the most competitive league tournaments in history.
And Fran, that's something that 7 of these 10 teams at the minimum better get used to, because they will be heading from here to the Indianapolis bubble to be a part of the NCAA tournament. And we talked at each of the practices the past couple of days to the coaches about how they're just handling the mental well-being of their players, knowing they're going to be sequestered maybe for a month.
It's going to definitely be a challenge, but these kids and coaches are excited to be back out on the court, Bob.
Already the shot clock under 10 for TCU. Mike Miles, the freshman, forces one up. That's an offensive rebound for Kevin Samuel, what he does best.
This is an outstanding, improving Kansas State defense. I say outstanding. Over the last 4 games, they've been excellent.
Swing it to the corner. R.J. Nembhard, the running one-hander. And the rebound falls to Nigel Pack.
Well, we mentioned those 3 freshmen for Kansas State who started most of the Big 12. Bradford inside, a revelation, and the little point guard, Nigel Pack, as good as advertised.
Deshaun Gordon. That's a little too strong, and the weak side rebound falls to P.J. Fuller. Samuel in the post.
Yeah, good matchup.
Out of the double team. R.J. Nembhard averages close to 16 points per game. He's a top 5 scorer in the Big 12. Looking for an assist here, and he won't get it as P.J. Fuller's off the mark.
Bob, we talked about Kansas State's defense, but honestly, both teams offensively are challenged today. Both shoot at a low percentage. Both turn the ball over at a high rate. The team that makes fewer mistakes has a great chance, obviously, to win this game.
Five to shoot. Selton Miguel looking for his own miss, finds it, and finally breaks the ice and gets the Cats on the board.
He's a junkyard dog. He's from Angola on the continent of Africa. Great defender, feisty on the offensive glass.
Miles short, pops one to Nembhard. So he couldn't pull the trigger. And now it's back with the true freshman, Mike Miles.
Now, TCU does not throw the ball inside to Samuel as much as you would think.
There's a wing jumper that Miles sets up, and Chucko Bennett is able to knock it down.
The transfer from USC has really found himself in the second half of the season. He went 2 years because of injuries without playing out in LA, but he's been a nice offensive punch.
Pretty good bloodlines.
Yes, sir. His dad, Charles Sr., on the NCAA champion UCLA Bruins in '95, and Uncle Ed wasn't bad either.
Gordon swings one to the corner. That's a little too strong. Deshaun Gordon runs down the Selton Miguel miss. Miguel cruises to the goal, but double clutched. And now he gets a pick of the pocket and a finger roll. That goes down, so Selton Miguel is able to score.
There's that activity we talked about from Miguel. Bob, when I watched them beat Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, it really looked like vintage Bruce Weber Kansas State defense that we got used to with Barry Brown and Kamal Stokes and Dean Wade. You can see early they are into it.
NBA three is not there for Miles. Miguel weaves his way down the lane, leaves it at the front of the rim, and that is an easy 2 for Davion Bradford.
I have a feeling rebounding will be a big factor tonight because there will be a lot of missed shots. And the big fella cleaning up the miss. Great hands.
Both coaches ready to go to their respective benches early on. We've got 5 players at the scorer's table as Nemhard can't connect. Nigel Pack lobs one. McGurl able to finish, plus the foul. Guard to guard on the alley-oop.
Pass on the money. Throwing it to the guard. Guard to guard. Mike McGurl, the only senior. And one. Got to get some easy baskets tonight. That's one way to do it. There's no question about it. We really like this young point guard, Mike Miles, out of Lancaster, Texas. And Ruben Nemhard, as we mentioned, has really improved. You're seeing a guy with the ball right now, Nigel Pack, who was highly recruited out of Indiana. Oh, he just lost it. Thank you.
Announcer Jinx works to perfection. And it becomes an easy 2 for Todd,
who's also a pretty good freshman, although he redshirted a year ago. Pack's had a really good year. He's been bit with the COVID bug and an eye injury, but when he's been out there, he's been really solid.
And right on cue. That time the reverse announcer Jinx. You did. You got him back on track. Well done.
Thank you.
Nemhard with a crossover. Just lost the ball. It ends up with Nigel Pack. He sets up Deshaun Gordon. That scoop won't go. And the rebound is pulled down by Jason Ledee.
Both of these teams, but particularly TCU, has been hit hard by COVID this year. There were times during the fall where TCU had to shut down their program for a month or so, and during the season as well.
Todd, foul call. And it looks like it will go against Todd. He'll step aside. 7-point lead for Kansas State. Of Deshaun Gordon.
TCU will go 4 out around Samuel.
Finger roll along the baseline, and a pretty one at that for P.J. Fuller.
Nicely done. When you're concerned about Samuel inside, and we see this throughout the Big 12, it's really become a small ball league. A lot of 4-guard offenses. I think, Bob, just off the top of my head, I was counting the other day, I think 17 or so of the best 20 players in this league are guards. It's a great guard league.
Rudy Williams looking like one of those guards with a promising future. He's a JUCO transfer that made waves certainly when he was at Northeast Oklahoma A&M. Led all junior college players in assists.
Let's take a look at P.J. Fuller, a sophomore from Seattle, getting to the basket. P.J. is an interesting kid. He won a couple of state titles for a guy by the name of Brandon Roy, who was a great NBA player before knee surgery ended his career, but P.J. played for him at 2 different schools in Seattle. And certainly was the benefit of great coaching from Brandon Roy.
Deshaun Gordon, straightaway 3, off the mark. The rebound to Mike Miles.
I think both of these teams have to be downhill driving teams, like that last basket by Fuller. Have to attack the basket when you have these kind of athletes.
Gordon called for the foul. It's a 7-point lead for Kansas State.
one consistent theme in those 5 games, their defense has improved. They've held teams to under 58% scoring and 38% shooting. And guys, it's no mistake, this first half has gone very much that way, holding TCU to 38% in the first half from the field, just 22% from three-point range.
TCU 2 for 9 from behind the arc. So they were beaten from three-point land by Nigel Packfran himself.
Yep, and to the point Holly made, this defense over the last 5 games looks like what we're used to. And they're getting off to another good start. This backcourt of McGurl and Pack has been, at times this year, really, really solid.
McGurl now has 7. That's his first made 3. And as we said, the first 3 made for Kansas State by anyone other than Pack. That's a brick from the wing. A bad miss from Chuck O'Bannon. McGurl cruises to the goal, plus the foul.
Nicely done. A little high double ball screen. And you heard Bruce Weber yell 45. That means the 4 and the 5 men are involved in the screen. There's the screen, downhill to the rim, a foul. And McGurl and Pack have taken over this game. The senior from Hartford, Connecticut, who, as we remember, was going to redshirt as a freshman, had to be tossed into action. Big game against Creighton in the NCAA tournament. And there is hope among the coaching staff and fans that he might take advantage of that free 5th year and come back. I think it's a wise move. NBA prospects are not there right now.
Well, when sports got shut down last year, he went home to Wellington, Connecticut, clear across the country, and there was a point where his parents called Bruce Weber and said he wants to come back. He's going crazy here at home. He's too far away from everything, and he can't work out anywhere. So they brought him back early to Manhattan. He was there all summer, and because all of the facilities on campus were closed, he was playing at playgrounds in Manhattan just around the city. So if you guys saw someone out there shooting, it was probably Mike McGurl. He was that intent on getting back and getting better.
Well, he got his own miss there, kept the possession alive. They work it to the corner, and Deshaun Gordon can't knock it down. Again, TCU is the higher seed. They're down by 9, but that's why they've got the home whites on. The road purple being worn by Kansas State, the lower seed. Shelton Miguel dared to shoot, passes it up, drives it instead, and it looks like he will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter. I love when he attacks. He's a slasher. We mentioned he's an excellent defender and one of that trio of freshmen who's gotten a lot of minutes this season.
That's the second foul on Chuck O'Bannon in as many trips down the floor. Last year in high school, Shelton Miguel was an all-state independent selection in Florida, first team. Some of the other names that were first team Florida independent all-state: Scotty Barnes at Florida State, Jaden Springer at Tennessee, Cade Cunningham
on
that list as well.
Yeah, I know
that's a pretty good group to be a part of.
I'd say, yeah, West Oaks Academy has always turned out good players. And, you know, Kansas State had a guy from St. Petersburg, Florida, by the name of Barry Brown, who was an outstanding player, doing a great job playing in Germany right now.
Yeah, along with Dean Wade and also with Kamau Stokes, that was one heck of a senior class that Bruce Weber had. And McGurl's kind of the leftover role player from that group. You wonder if he could lead this young team to something different and a different level, should he choose, as you said, Fran, to come back and play again next year for Kansas State.
You listen, they need to be on the transfer market anyway. And next summer, transfers are going to be eligible immediately. Why not take a guy that you're comfortable with? And they're working it too, by the way.
Good defense as Shelton Miguel misses the dunk. Gets his own miss. Shot fake. That's blocked from behind, and he'll go to the free throw line. Foul called on Nembhard.
Well, as my man Scott Van Pelt would say, elevation, Holmes, or a little more elevation.
Thereof.
Well, you guys talked about Barry Brown, that great senior who was just a legend for Kansas State. Well, he's one of the reasons that this young man at the free throw line is actually wearing the purple uniform this year. Selton Miguel actually came here because of the good reputation of Barry Brown. His prep school coach is friends with the Browns family, and they saw how Barry developed at Kansas State, really had a great 4-year career, and they thought, well, if Barry Brown can develop like that, then our young man can as well. So that's a good recommendation. When Barry Brown says a place is good, you listen.
Yeah, and Holly, he has the same intensity as Barry Brown did on the defensive end. Offense, he's got to improve, but you love this. And look at this defense.
McGurl to Miguel. Back to McGurl for 3. Offensive rebound is off the mark for Gordon. And now a foul will be called. And that's going to go against Selton Miguel. So a missed opportunity off the McGurl steal for Kansas State.
Looking to get out in transition, and Miguel with the block. Let's face it, Bob, this is a very bad year to be young in the Big 12. And these two teams have certainly suffered from that, but there is some hope for the future. TCU's been ravaged with injuries this year, as this Wildcat team.
Double dribble is called on Mike Miles. As Jamie Dixon goes back to his bench, sits down Samuel O'Bannon and Fuller.
And you just can't commit those kind of unforced turnovers, and we've seen that a lot this season from both of these teams. It's an area of major improvement in the offseason.
Davion Bradford is a big body down low, and he's going to draw some fouls, and just did, as Jaden Ledee ended up on the wrong side of Davion Bradford and held on for dear life.
He's been in foul trouble tonight, but the young man has got great hands. He's got good feet for his size. He's your old-fashioned aircraft carrier.
McGurl can't connect. With the left hand in traffic, Kevin Easley with a nice cut.
Yeah, good pass by Terran Frank, who started to get more minutes at the end of the year. He's the son of Tellis Frank, former first-round pick, Golden State Warriors, and he's had a couple really bright moments, and he knows how to play. That was a good indication right there on that back cut.
McGurl. Nice bounce pass. Bradford plus the foul. What a feed from Mike McGurl. The little pocket pass puts Davion Bradford at the line when we come back.
How about the hands of the big guy? The pass, you love it. But a 7-footer with these hands, soft as butter, and he gets it done inside.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Let's get this party started.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paramount Plus. This is strokes of genius, beautiful games, and one shining moment. This is Defenders, Investigators, and
7 strangers picked to live in a house.
This is Young SpongeBob, Young Sheldon, and Younger. This is everything you've been looking for. That's gonna leave a mark. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment.
All right.
This is Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Bob Wischusen, Fran Fraschilla, Holly Rowe. Jealous of that kid? I want that cookie. Bracketology with Joe Lenardi. How about this seeding predicted? 7 of the 10 teams in the Big 12 predicted to at least be a 6 seed or higher. And we'll see Oklahoma coming up against Iowa State at 9:30 Eastern in the second half of our doubleheader tonight. But Fran, look, we've always seen really good teams at the top of the list of the Big 12 Final Four capable teams. When was the last time you saw this type of depth in the league, the depth of quality that there has been this year?
It's been quite some time. Instead of a 10 seed or 11 seed, you mentioned all 7 as 6 seeds. Back in 02 and 03 with Kelvin Sampson, Roy Williams, they had some outstanding teams. Texas with Rick Barnes, certainly. I'll tell you this, Oklahoma may have lost its last 4 games, but other than the loss at Kansas State, they have not had a bad loss in their schedule all season.
That 10-footer comes up short for Ledee. It just says a lot about a league when you have what is their conference tournament's version of the play-in round tonight, just trying to get to the quarterfinals tomorrow. And one of the teams in the quote-unquote play-in round is ranked. And we've got Oklahoma as a top 25 team. At one point this season, Oklahoma was ranked 7th. And they're playing tonight just to try and have the right to play tomorrow in the quarterfinal round of the conference tournament.
Oklahoma did something only 3 teams in basketball history have done this season. They beat 4 top 10 teams in 1 calendar month. And that goes all the way back to the late 40s when the AP poll started.
Emhard leans in. That one-hander won't go. Nigel Pack's been quiet so far in the second half.
But the big fella's getting going. Davion Bradford with that last basket inside.
McGurl tied up. Mike Miles with a takeaway. Miles with the left hand. Draws a foul and hits the stanchion hard. Well, let's hope that Mike Miles gets up. Shakes off that contact. It looks like he will.
This is why he reminds me of Frank Mason. Take a look. It's almost like a doppelganger right here. Or his little brother. I'm not sure what doppelganger, whatever.
You have to be able to say it to know what it is.
Exactly. I can't do that. But he does remind me of Frank Mason. Of course, Frank ended up being a great player, All-American. And this young man stayed home because he missed mom and grandma. He was highly recruited, but TCU got in early. He actually lost 30 pounds this fall. He arrived at campus not looking as svelte as he does right here, Bob, but you saw the speed right there.
Cade Cunningham was the only freshman in the Big 12 this season that averaged more points per game than Mike Miles.
And they were teammates on the grassroots circuit for Texas Titans. They played each other early, and they're really close. They've known each other since 4th grade. They would not talk to each other when the first time TCU played Oklahoma State up in Stillwater. They ignored each other.
McGurl, too easy.
We said it early, although Pack's been shooting those threes, the key tonight for K-State was get to the basket off the dribble.
Traveling called on Kevin Easley. So a TCU turnover.
Let's take a look at Mike McGurl. As Holly mentioned, he came back to Manhattan this summer and got himself in even better shape. As a freshman, he had a terrific game against Creighton in the NCAA tournament, helping K-State to get to the Elite 8 on that great Barry Brown, Dean Wade-led team.
McGurl had that shot blocked. It ends up with Bradford. He's rejected, and it's taken away by Chuck O'Bannon. After Samuel blocked one on the perimeter. Fuller can't knock one down.
Oh, they had the big guy inside, but Dejuan Gordon never looked at him. He could look at him now.
There's the lob, and the gather, and the finish by Davion Bradford.
He was open for 10 minutes, and they didn't find him until late, but hard to miss him when he's open inside. The big fella getting it going.
Timeout called by TCU.
Take a look, the catch, the gather. How does he get open like that?
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, If quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
Let's get this party started.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paramount Plus. This is strokes of genius, beautiful games, and one shining moment. This is defenders, investigators, and
7 strangers pick to live in a house.
this is young SpongeBob, young Sheldon, and younger. This is everything you've been looking for.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment.
All right.
This is Paramount Plus, now streaming.
UConn returns to the conference mountaintop.
Appalachian State, for just the third time in program history, is going dancing.
Cleveland State.
For the first time since 2009.
Advance and dance. Townsend.
Oh, she got it!
Gonzaga wins it.
Last season, we were robbed of almost of all of Champ Week, and so it is striking that we are back here. And Kansas, of course, leads the way in terms of current league members in Big 12 championship titles. The Phillips 66 Big 12 championship underway. Game number 1 of 2 tonight as we build towards what should be an epic quadruple header, Fran Fraschilla, tomorrow.
Absolutely. This is like Christmas morning for us, Bob. You know, you open the small packages first. The big ones come tomorrow, Friday, and then the Big 12 championship on Saturday afternoon. But so thrilled to be back here in Kansas City, watching basketball, eating barbecue. And in this case, we're going to see some really, really good teams that could go a long way in March Madness. I noticed you ate a little barbecue last night, Mr. Wischusen.
Yeah, not a little. That was stripped away by Chuck O'Bannon.
I heard about you taking that barbecue back to your room.
11 to shoot. Trying to free up Nigel Pack to get some more looks. He was red hot to end the first half. Here's a 3. That's off the mark, but a foul called. So Pack scoreless in the second half to this point, but he will shoot 3 free throws when we come back as Nembhard picks up his 3rd foul.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. With Fran Fraschilla and Holly Rowe, I'm Bob Wischusen here in Kansas City as we kick off the Phillips Big 66 Big 12 championship. And, you know, Fran, you think about what those guys were just talking about with Xavier.
Yes.
Life on the bubble. I mean, if you're a coach, you're a player, I'm sure you're always on ESPN watching other games. And we are constantly rolling through Joe Lunardi's bracketology, last 4 in, first 4 out, first 4 buys, and you see your name there. How much does the pressure build on a team as they're looking at that when now they realize it's one and done, they're in their conference tournament?
Oh, it's incredible. I've lived it as a mid-major coach and a high-major coach, and the greatest pressure of all is being a mid-major or low-major coach. You won your league, but it doesn't matter. You got to win your tournament. But when you're on the bubble in late January, the way these teams are now, thanks to Joey Brackets,
right.
It's the mental stress really does wear on you. Watch the lob here.
No foul call.
Wow.
Not only unable to finish was Deshaun Gordon, but a foul not called either.
Similar play that they ran earlier in this game for the basket. Take a look right here. I like that. I didn't see anything there. TCU, he's allowed to jump and go vertical. I'm good with that.
And then at the other end, McGurl is called for his first.
Well, Holly made this point earlier. This Kansas State defense, last 5 games, this looks like a Kansas State defense. Tough, Bulldogs out front. They're challenging inside, no second shots. And it's why they've been a reasonably hot team lately.
And TCU in the home white, they're the higher seed, but they're being held to 37% from the field to this point by Kansas State. Shot clock under 10. That line drive 3 will not go for O'Bannon. And Nigel Pack back the other way.
Nigel Pack is having a similar freshman year, maybe even a better freshman year than Barry Brown. It reminds me of Marcus Foster, who played at Kansas State a couple years. This kid has got, not only is he a good player and a scorer and a playmaker, I'm watching him tonight. He's got a great feel for the game. He understands the shot clock.
McGurl, yes, on the drive.
Well, that's the difference in this game right now is McGurl and Pack have pretty much dominated the TCU guards. See, they move the ball side to side so much, but they pass up chances to drive it.
Samuel, high pass to the corner. It's a turnover as he airmails Chuck O'Bannon. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. It's a must-have for Big 12 fans. With the softball and baseball seasons in full swing, more than 200 matchups are available, along with the early rounds of both conference tournaments. Plus, it's the home for over 500 live events and original content. If you're a Big 12 fan, you gotta have it. You can sign up today. ESPNplus.com/Big12 now.
Speaking of TCU, my buddy Jim Schlossnagel has his club. Last I checked, middle of the week, they were 8-3. Big 12 is really solid this season. SEC is off the charts. They're off to an amazing start. But if you want to watch Big 12 baseball, get Big 12 now. Little zone now. K-State has hit the fastball. Now they're going to the curveball.
Shot clock down to 8. There's the lob trying to beat the zone back door. And it's a turnover as Deshaun Gordon again can't handle the lob. Hanging and hitting is Chuck O'Bannon. He wanted an and one, no whistle, but that bucket.
He's had some good games this season. Former McDonald's All-American.
He now has 7. TCU with no players so far in double digits. Fuller and O'Bannon with 7 apiece. They are the leading scorers for the Frogs. And now Rudy Williams turns it over.
Well, Chuck O'Bannon, last 11 games, he's averaging about 8-9 points a game, giving Jamie Dixon another score on the perimeter. I mentioned he was a former McDonald's All-American. The last McDonald's All-American at USC before O'Bannon was DeMar DeRozan.
Here's O'Bannon from the corner. Short.
See that zone? Let's see if they can move it side to side.
Gordon shovels one underneath, and this equals the largest lead for the Cats Diego throws it down, and the lead back up to 16. Nembhard hoists a three. That won't go. O'Bannon the weak side rebound. He'll step back. Tough contested shot.
Yeah.
And a bad one at that.
No question. Not a shot you want to take right there. Little chance for it to go in.
Pack's pass deflected, but O'Bannon couldn't save it. We'll stay with Kansas State when we come back. Again, this equals the largest lead for Kansas State. Fran up to 16.
Yeah, good penetration versus the zone. Make the big guy come up and help. And a good finish inside by Diego. Easy. He'll take it. That's easy.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
If TCU wants to have their season continue, they need a lot more than one stop and one bucket, because Kansas State has equaled their largest lead. They've got a 16-point advantage with under 8 minutes to go. Bob Wischusen and Fran Fraschilla and Holly Rowe beginning the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship here in Kansas City. A girl for three. Adds to the lead. Buries a triple.
What a day. Those two guards, 30 points now between them. McGurl and Pack. They went zone. TCU last few possessions. McGurl only 1 of 6 prior to that behind the arc. But this backcourt has been really, really good for Bruce Weber. And you know what? The defense has been great. Look at that.
McGurl skies for the rejection. Wow.
I like it. No trash talk right there. These referees hear everything. He just comes up, blocks the shot. There's a little bit of the shake of the head. That's pretty good.
And now McGurl hustle in the backcourt. Can't beat Mike Miles to the basketball, but some of the Kansas State fans that are here actually making some noise as Miles tries a three. They appreciate that kind of an effort, and it's fumbled out of bounds by Miguel.
If they really appreciate it, you take a look. That's a great, thank you, camera guys. That's terrific. I would be cheering one more year. This is a senior that can come back. We mentioned was scheduled to redshirt as a freshman. And he's going to get his finance degree. How about an MBA?
Nembhard leans in. Can't get it to go. You know, to your point about how Kansas State has picked it up defensively, especially at the three-point line, this is the third meeting of the year between these two teams. And in the 3 meetings combined, TCU is 10 of 46 shooting the three. And the opposite is true as Nigel Pack hits another.
Does this not remind you of 2018 and 2019? Just a little bit. Just a little.
Jamie Dixon needs a timeout. And his team needs some buckets. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers. We're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
Jamie Dixon has not had a losing season at Pitt or TCU. You lose tonight, 2 games below 500, and I'm sure he will not be expecting an NIT invitation, considering the fact that the field has been cut in half down to 16 teams for this season. And Fran, he's gone to the bench now, and some of the players that were out there that have given up this latest Kansas State run are now taking a seat in the TCU area.
Yes, we're seeing some guys that we have not seen much all year. Eddie Lampkin's in, big freshman from Katy, Texas. You know, the interesting thing about TCU, Bob, is 10 of their 13 losses coming in with the top 25 level teams.
Miles threw it right to Miguel.
Miles and Nemhart have just been no-shows tonight. Unfortunately for TCU, it happens. But the defense has been, by the Wildcats, just outstanding.
Feeling it from the corner is Nigel Pack. He has another 3.
He's had a tremendous freshman year. The most highly sought of the freshmen at Kansas State. He delivered all year. He's delivering tonight.
The freshman is 5 of 6 from three-point land on his own. Miles, NBA range. That goes down.
That's more like it for Mike Miles. As you mentioned, the second leading freshman scorer this year in the Big 12. But I said earlier, Bob, Miles and Pack are going to get to know each other well the next 4 years.
The lob. And in traffic, it looks like a foul is going to be called on Eddie Lampkin.
Let's watch this ball movement right now by K-State. Up the court, drive it, kick it. That corner 3 is his operating space. Putting him to sleep tonight. Nigel Pack putting the Horned Frogs to sleep.
Well, if you're a Kansas State fan and you see Nigel Pack and Mike McGurl shoot the ball the way that they have at times in this game tonight, gives you at least a little bit of hope against a team like Baylor tomorrow, because and they're fighting for the right now to play the #1 seed and a top 2 team in the country. You have to shoot the lights out to have a chance to stay in a game with Baylor.
I've only been around this league 16 of the 25 years. If they were to win, it would be the greatest upset in the Big 12 tournament that I can remember. They are the overwhelming underdog tomorrow night when Baylor takes the floor against what looks to be the Wildcats at this point.
Well, Pack and McGurl have 7 threes between them. That's just another day at the office for the Baylor guards. Swooping in for 2 is Eddie Lampkin.
What do you mean the Baylor guards? That's a day at the office for one of them.
That's true. For each.
Hey, the Baylor guards have each scored 30 points in a game this season. Think about that. Teague, Mitchell, and of course Jared Butler.
That jumper is pure for Daishawn Gordon. We called the last game of the season for Baylor Texas Tech on Sunday, and Maceo Teague, it was Pleasantville. I mean, anything he threw up and went down, it was unbelievable. He was 8 of 10 from three-point land and missed his last attempt.
One of the great performances in Baylor history for sure.
What am I saying? 10 for 12 from three-point land. I forgot the last couple, and I think he actually did miss his last attempt, though. I think it was 10 for his first 11.
One shot.
That 12th 3 that he took was just a heat check. He's already done for the day, and he just threw that one up.
I think like his 4th through 9th makes were all heat checks, and he just kept on making them.
Well, we'll be talking a lot about Baylor the next couple days for sure, and it's been what amazes me is 48-5 in the last 2 years. And coincidentally, when Mitchell and Teague became eligible, but those are the numbers, led by Jared Butler.
Daishawn Gordon adds to the Kansas State lead. A little too late for R.J. Nembhard. He now has 11.
Well, I said this a couple weeks ago, Bob, about K-State. They have to improve their talent level. They still have to add some pieces, maybe another grad transfer or transfer. They have to improve their turnover rate, and they have to shoot. You can't shoot 29% next year from three and expect to make a big move in this conference. But I like the pieces that are in place.
McGurl gets to the passing lane and shovels it off to Nigel Pack. And then a foul called, and it will be called an intentional foul on Eddie Lampkin. And Lampkin now with some sportsmanship going over and making friends with Nigel Pack. Will step aside with 3:44 to go. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
If you care more about low taxes than tall buildings, if quality of life feels like an oxymoron, if home is the most important word in work-from-home policy, Ohio is for you. With our business-friendly climate, a skilled and growing workforce, and a high quality of life, Ohio is better for businesses and employees. Because we're not built for followers, we're building for leaders. Check out ohioisforleaders.com/TV.
This is not just another streaming app.
You might want to hold on to something.
This is a mountain of original, bingeable entertainment. This is chilling, unsettling, and brilliantly bonkers. This is weird and hilarious, stylish and cheeky. This is a joy to watch, a wonder to explore, and a peak TV experience. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus, now streaming.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. That loss for Xavier is going to sting.
It's going to sting, but I'll tell you, Bob, I'd love to see, that's another team I'd love to see in the NIT. There's only 16 teams in the NIT field this year, and
Can I get it?
all 16 who decide they're going to accept the invite get a chance to celebrate college basketball one more time in Dallas. By the way, that intentional foul by Eddie Lampkin, the flagrant one, young man has not played a lot of minutes this year, and you mentioned it as we went to break. He reached out to Nigel Pack, said he was sorry. Just a little bit of an experience, but Jamie Dixon giving the big fella, the freshman, some opportunities to play. But this kid's been outstanding. Nigel Pack.
2 in the ball. A lopsided lead for Kansas State. Pack up to 21 points. Daishawn Gordon comes up short. Floater for O'Bannon. Rebound to Davion Bradford. Now coming up at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, we'll have game 2 of our doubleheader tonight. And Oklahoma, at one point this season, ranked number 7 in America. But in this conference, that guarantees you nothing, because they're playing on the kind of quote-unquote play-in night to try and get into a Thursday quarterfinal matchup with Kansas. They'll take on Iowa State. And Oklahoma lost their last 4 games down the stretch in the Big 12 regular season, but all 4 games were right there for them to potentially win.
But I would put their season in perspective, Bob. In November, nobody expected Oklahoma to be number 7 in the country.
Right.
And when I went and watched them practice in November, I asked Coach Kruger, as you see the Harmon family in attendance, Davion's family from Denton, Texas, Edmond, Oklahoma as well. But when I talked to Coach Kruger, he said, I think we can be good if we develop our bench. They go 9 deep right now, and they really don't have a bad loss on there. Other than K-State and K-State, they have not really had a bad loss. All 4 losses by a total of 17 points. They are one of those teams in the bracket, field of 68, that could get to an Elite 8. But we could say that about 5 or 6 of these teams in the league.
Nembhard, backdoor, and a foul called as P.J. Fuller is dumped to the ground by Selton Miguel, so he'll go to the line. And here come the Sooners as Oklahoma's bus has arrived. Again, there are 10 teams in the Big 12, and 7 of them are ranked. So you've got a ranked team playing on night 1 of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship, as in the latest AP poll, even after the 4 losses to close out the season. Oklahoma still was number 25 in America. Tip into the front court by Gordon. He'll cruise in for 2.
They traveled, but not going to call that now. You know what's interesting about Oklahoma as it relates to tonight and tomorrow is they get, I never really wanted to play in the opening round, but it does give you a chance to get a win, get your feet under you, and then tomorrow they'll play a Kansas team that they split with during the season. And maybe playing here tonight gives them maybe a little bit of an edge.
You worry at all about coming back and playing, whatever, 16, 17 hours later? The fatigue factor, potentially?
Yeah, I think so. But again, 9 deep, they play a lot of guys. Certainly a factor.
A steal by Miles.
Mike Miles.
Shot clock down to 8 for Rudy Williams.
A lot of dribbling, too.
Miguel for 3. And a back tap and a fresh 20 for Kansas State, as that was kept alive by Deshaun Gordon. And now Bruce Weber wants to give some of the bench players an opportunity to get in for the last minute and a half. So Davion Bradford will sit. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Phillips 66. And Nigel Pack, 5 made threes, 23 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists.
Just with the